Hey Entropians, Julian McBain here, and we are up in high desert toward the lower end of the Turelian, or up on the hills just above the Turelian desert. So this is technically high desert, and this is the Turelian desert. And it's all one desert. I mean, the whole section's Turelian desert, but we're going from the highlands to the lowlands. And I have found the crystal Pedes. And I need to give a shout out to Morgan Gecko and Via Gaming, who both helped me locate these little bastards. Because I couldn't find them to save my life. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started hunting them. I'm going to put my dog out here. Up to 62% to level 10. I'm really proud. He's making it. But we are going to hunt them. Whoa, that was weird. Whoa, no, not with that gun. Whoa. I did put my Turelian armor on to kind of cut down on the amount of damage they do, because they are level 5. But I didn't think it would be necessarily appropriate to wear the Ghost for efficiency, cost efficiency, but we'll see. That, and let's face it, Turelian armor is kind of thematically appropriate here. I do wish I had an amp for this gun. The one I have on the on my LR15 is not necessarily appropriate. We have to kill 250 of them. I might have to switch to Ghost Armor. This is kind of sad. At least my dog's behind me giving me support. Okay, let's do Ghost. Yeah, I hate to do this, but that might be more efficient overall. Not time efficient. It'll be more time efficient. Definitely not more cost efficient. Honestly, for hunting these guys, like an LLC4 would be best. Or even an LR10. I will say this, the amp is going to help. Because the amp increases your efficiency. But like, I know that didn't yield the same amount of shrapnel as I used. So, you know, be aware, pick the right weapon for the job. In this case, I've got two very dynamically spaced sets of weapons, and none of them is perfect for it. I don't suppose I have like a mid-level. No, this is an LLP1. That's not going to do us any freaking good. Yeah. I think I sold off all the weapons that I got from drops. I had some decent BLP ones that would have been probably perfect for this, to be honest. But that's okay. You know, it is what it is. We all learn our lessons. If I lose a little money on this, I lose a little money on this. I'm making a video. So. Okay, did I... Oh no, there's more up there. That's the one thing about this area, is that with all of the hills the way they are... Holy buckets. Yeah, I'll say there's some. Other places that these guys can be found. Of course, you knew where the Punies were over here. You can find a single young crystal Pede in this area. Just one. That's all I found. There's also a single Pleek Puny. And a whole bunch of horned birds. Which I kind of found amusing. Made me wonder if the horned birds prey on the Pleek. Or not on the Pleek, but the Pedes. Let's take a look at these guys. They're kind of ugly. They look like a cross between fish and bugs. Although, There are a lot of insects that have mouths like that, particularly microscopic ones like water bears, tardigrades. So I guess it makes sense, and I'm not exactly an entomologist. I still say that Entropia Universe needs its own Steve Irwin. That would be fucking awesome. You know, I mean, I don't have the personality for it, but I would love to see someone do like a whole channel just based on being Steve Irwin in Entropia Universe. And hell, if Mind Art got on board, they can even make it so that the majority of mobs were passive to that one account, have it just special for it, do like a whole partnership thing. So that, you know, that player could go in and just do a whole bit. Because I think that would be very, very cool. And even if they don't, do it anyway. Oh, what are you? You are not... Oh. You are not young. Let's see what you drop. There's a whole bunch of them out here. Oh my. Did you see that? Are you kidding me? This one's gonna need the sword. Look at this thing. It's huge. And it's see-through? This is bizarre. Thankfully, he doesn't hit too hard. But wow, this is not what I was expecting. Like, it's taking some time to hack through it. Oh wow. Oh wow. That, my friends, is a 36 ped drop. And it wasn't even a global. I might have to come out and hunt those. I think they're rare though, because I didn't see a hunting spot for them. But it might just be the parameters I put into the Entropia secret site. But that was huge. I mean, I know we burned some ped to get him, but it wasn't no 32 ped. Wow, my redneck just came out really bad right there. No, we leveled in anatomy. I think. Oh, tier upgrader, level 5. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. Thankfully, this is going, well, it's partly because we're using a bigger gun, but we're already up to 42. We're only 8 minutes in, so this hunt is going much faster than the Panleon Punies, although I wouldn't use this gun on level 3s. Level 5s, I don't like using it on level 5s, but I'll use it on level 5s when the only other option is to use Bookins. I could use this sword, but it's not, it burns down too quickly when we're doing a mission of this nature. Like if I was out hunting, and there's another one. Well, fuck it, we've got the time, we're gonna go hunting those too. I mean, obviously we're in it for the FAP, but if they're gonna be dropping 35 ped, I'm gonna hunt the big things too. Come on. There we go. It must be a function of being attacked. It just, I think it might even be a glitch that it does that. Because it's on the hill. I remember when I first saw it, oh my. Pay attention to our health there, Julian. When I first saw these guys, I was hunting the scout bots down over in this area here. And of course, at the time, level 17 would flatten me, so I didn't even try. But I thought they looked really cool. And now I like the fact that I can actually face off against them. They're about my level. They've got an amazing loot pool. You see, that one only gave 234, so I just happened to luck out the first time, I think. 234 is nothing to sneeze at, but it's no 36 ped. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, I'm not going to bitch about because, I mean, obviously it was a lucky loot is what it comes down to. Pretty much a mini. Thankfully, mobs can climb cliffs, because I can't. That hurt. Although I guess I shouldn't complain when, you know, I'm shooting them. Okay. Oh, some bad news came my way this week when my trusty Pixel book, which I use to track everything. So, like, I've got a Google Sheets spreadsheet that tracks every profit and loss in Entropia universe, dating back to, like, I think it's more than a year now. And suddenly 2 keys don't work on it anymore. Now, I can't bitch too much. I got it at a sharp discount due to the job I had when I got it. But it's an $1,100 laptop. I don't want to have to replace it. And the thing is now I've got a conundrum. Because I can't justify spending the money on a second gaming computer. And any backup computer would have to be a laptop, so that I've got something to carry with me. But the question is, do I go for another Chromebook, or do I, because, you know, they boot up in like 10 seconds. They're impossible to infect with malware, or damn near so. And if anything goes wrong, you power wash it, you log in, and everything's exactly the way it was before. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of strength to a Chromebook, but it's literally nothing but a productivity center, and there are a lot of limitations. You can't play games on, or that's not entirely true. I managed to make Entropia Universe run on it. It wasn't very happy with me, neither the Chromebook nor the Pixelbook nor the nor Entropia Universe, but it ran on Crossover, which is Wine for Chromebook. It got super hot, so I couldn't run it for very long. I could run it for like an hour before I started to get nervous. But it took it. I mean, it has an i5 in it, it just doesn't have a GPU. Not a real one anyway. I mean, yeah, it technically has a GPU because you can't have a monitor without a GPU, but it doesn't have a GPU. It's integrated graphics. And they're not very good integrated graphics at that, but that's not what it was designed to do. And yet, it still managed to tank it for the most part. There was some bleed through. But because I used it as a productivity center, it's always been to my since I got it. It's pretty much always been to my right on my desk. So I do all of my gaming and stuff. That's really annoying. Oh, for cripe! There we go. I would do a lot of my typing in the morning on it. Check my YouTube channel and stuff like that. And I can still do a lot with it, but with the 2 keys not working, I either have to pick up a Bluetooth keyboard, which might be my temporary solution because I don't want to drop $1,100 right now, or I've got to use the touchscreen keyboard, which only functions when it's not in its normal laptop mode. And it's cumbersome, and I've noticed the autocorrect tends to get overzealous. Like, I've had to delete words because the Chromebook decided it didn't fit, which Windows is just as guilty of, but when you have a physical keyboard, it's less likely to happen automatically. So I'm still trying to sort out what to do about that mess. I mean, given my druthers, I'd pick up a gaming laptop, but I'm not going to spend the money on it. And Windows comes with some inherent problems, like the fact that it takes forever to boot up after a while. Because it's Windows. No, it's always been like that. I mean, we used to think it was bad when you had to load it from DOS. Oh boy. Those were the days. 3-minute load time, oh my god. But more seriously, no. I don't know. I'm probably going to pick up a Bluetooth keyboard in the meantime until I come up with a more permanent solution or raise the funds for it. But there are other things that I have to consider as well. Like, I really like to get a VR headset at some point. I'm sure that some of these video gaming videos I'm doing, the one-player games, like when I go to do Subnautica, which is coming. Haven't decided when. I might go through all the 3 Borderlands games before I do it, because that's going to be another really long one, like We Happy Few was. So I want to get a couple other games out there before I do another really long one, and then Sub-Zero's coming. And this is one of those cases where I really wish I could do this full time. Not because I don't want to have a regular job. I actually kind of like my job, although like any job, it has its days. But it means I would be able to do more of this and spread myself around a little bit better, if that makes any sense to anyone at all. Which, yeah, I know that's a good problem to have. But at the same time, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you got to make a choice between A and B, and there's no perfect answer. Okay. 100. We are doing well. I do like that we keep running into the bigger ones. Okay. The thing I like about that is because of my level and the weapon I'm using versus it, those are more efficient to kill. And so I'm making back just a little bit of the ped that I'm losing fighting all of these youngs, although I don't think I'm losing too much. Not like I was on the Tide Claws. Those Tide Claws were just a ped sink. You just sink a lot of ped in the return. The returns were decent, but they weren't as good as they could have been for the job. And I think part of that's because I didn't necessarily have the right amp for it. Maybe I should have been using the LR15 instead of using the sword all the time for the level. I don't know. It was very frustrating when the level 4, or the melee, the trauma amplifier 4, while that sword can use it efficiently, I can't. I don't have the skill level yet to really use it as efficiently as it could be used, at least not from what I can tell. Or it might just be I was hunting the wrong thing once you add it, because that all plays a factor too. And this goes into all the whole loot theory thing, and I'm not going to get too deep into that rabbit hole tonight. I have a whole video on that. But, and my overall opinion on loot theory has not changed. But, that being said, for whatever reason, I added that amp, and it actually made me less loot efficient. I was not looting as well as I was without the amp, so that was a losing game. So I moved it back to the one in my lootability. Lootability? My returns were better. Were back to where they had originally been. There's one. Woot! Am I gonna get it like a title like Bug Stomper? Man, you know, considering the fiction stories that I write that basically say that, you know, everything you kill gets broken down by your inventory system. Whenever you're done and turned into food, I'm not sure I'd want to have these on my menu. To be honest, they don't sound that appetizing. And then, what would this be? There's like nothing to it. It's crystal. Okay, fine, fair enough. But you can see through it. It's obviously got no parts to it that would otherwise be edible. It's hollow. Like, look at this. Well, it's disappeared now, but it's hollow. What the hell are you gonna eat on that? So, I mean, obviously these are larvae, and that's the adult form, because I'm 99.9% sure that these are a form of insect, or whatever the alien replacement for insects on Cyrene are. I say alien, this is their homeworld, I'm the alien here, but just, I can't fathom what it's like. Speaking of stories, I do have another story out. It's called Molly's Hunt. You'll be able to find it on the website. I will put a link in the description below. Make sure you go read it after you're done watching this. Hashtag shameless plug. Because I am shameless. At least when it comes to plugging my own stuff. In my own stuff. I learned it from Mel Brooks. And if you don't know who Mel Brooks is, go look him up. And then go watch all his movies. Ooh, another adult. We're up to 137, so these are actually going pretty quickly. I'm willing to bet I'll have them all done in like an hour. Probably less than that if I'd stopped messing around with hunting the big adults. Oh, hey, that one gave me over 5 pet in returns. That's not nothing. So I gotta say, this is not bad. Good grief. That wasn't the one I wanted to aim at. Come on. I want to take out that last adult before we close up for the day, because my time is starting to run out for this particular episode. And I'm sure you're all wondering, why do I care about keeping the episodes to half an hour in length? And part of it's because that reminds me to keep myself to a schedule. Because what would end up happening is there'd just be a lot. In the long run, the episodes would just start getting longer and longer. And then I would not be able to provide the content, or I'd start making them random lengths. So you get a 5-minute video one day, and then you get an hour video the next. And no one enjoys that. At least not so far as I can tell. So that's why I try to keep them as close to half an hour as possible. That's less possible with my one-player games, as I'm sure you've all noticed, because you can get stuck somewhere that you can't save and exit, and I may not have time to play more than one full session. And of course, generally first episodes on one-player games will be an hour long. I think that an exception to that will be Portal when I do my Portal playthrough, because I feel that that's something that has to happen. It might happen between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. I haven't decided yet. But I do want to get the whole Borderlands series knocked out because Borderlands 3 is coming out. I want to play Subnautica, but I'm kind of holding out to get a VR headset if I can pull it off. Because once I start, I'm not changing versions. I got the big hurdle to cross before I can get a VR headset. Nice. This might be the type of... Oh, it's a pistol. It's probably not one I can really use. Penelope X. Oh, I can use it. It's just really not the type of weapon to use against level 5s. Okay, so we're up to 154 and we've about reached our time limit. So let me just check my time here. Okay, we got about 4 minutes left. So we'll I'm gonna pack it in. We're gonna get to a safe spot, but now you know we're up here in the desert. You can find a single one over here, and then of course peonies are here for the crystal peds, and the peonies don't count. But I think that we did pretty good. I actually think the loot came out pretty okay too. Because like I picked up 200 ped worth of blue ammo before coming out. I don't even remember how much universal ammo I had. It wasn't very much. It was like 30 ped, maybe 40. And we looted pretty well. So, wow. That's actually kind of impressive. I might have made a profit off that. I don't want to say I made a raw profit, but I might have. I might have come out on top. I certainly didn't lose too much. So, okay guys, thanks a lot. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. Make sure you check out my website, mcbainmanor.com, especially the new story, Molly's Hunt. Links to both of those are in the description. And don't forget to check out my sponsor, Critical Links. Link is also in the description. Guys, I appreciate all the support. You all have a wonderful night.